The Super Mario Galaxy movie has gotten horrible reviews all over the internet from critics, and from a person who's a huge Mario fan, I understand why, sadly. Before I get into this video, I want to say there's spoilers in this review, so this is your warning. It pains me to say this, but the film was just filled with so much nonsense that became whatever. For example, there's literally scenes in this movie where Mario and Luigi turn into babies and now we're fighting a dinosaur, and it's just so much bullshit that happens in the span of an hour and 38 minutes that could have been cut out. This movie genuinely is like a sugar rush. They move from plot point to plot point and it honestly doesn't flow well at all. I don't necessarily think the movie is bad by any means, but it's not great either. For example, the name of this film is literally called the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and as a person who's 100% Galaxy 1 and 2, and replayed them as well, yeah, this does not feel like a Galaxy movie much. Yes, you do explore some galaxies, but you spend so little time in the areas because it just moves from one place to another so fast, trying to juggle everything in, and it's not done well at all. Another reason I can say is Rosalina. Believe it or not, she's barely in the film, and honestly has like no screen time and is treated poorly. For example, they decided to change her backstory and make Peach and Rosalina sisters, which is actually a neat change, but we see like one scene of this and it happens for like approximately 30 seconds to 45 seconds, which isn't great because it just takes away what makes Rosalina special. And this change was genuinely good if they just showed more of this rather than some BS with a T-Rex and babies. Another issue I have about Rosalina is how they portray her powers as something that she can only use from the wand. And that doesn't make much sense because she has used powers without her wand before in the game. So I don't know what that was all about. And they also nerfed her completely with how she got destroyed by Bowser Jr. But Mario and Luigi took them out easily, which doesn't really make sense to me. Mario, Luigi and Yoshi still took Bowser Jr. out, but somehow Rosalina couldn't, who's like a goddess. It just doesn't add up. Another issue I have is like probably the main issue with this movie for me is the pacing. The pacing is so incredibly fast in this movie that I can't enjoy any moment because it moves way too quickly because of how much it tries to fit in. And I understand it's definitely targeted towards kids and they try to make this film a, yo, point this out, point that out. Oh, that character's from this game, that reference is from this game, and I understand that, and I had a great time like seeing all the references, but it doesn't mean you can't show what happened in Mario Galaxy. There's literally parts where they do a story about Bowser redeeming himself, and then Junior just says, friends are worthless, and Bowser's like, you know what, man, I agree, I'm gonna turn evil now, and then that's just the storyline done. Same with Peach and Mario's dynamic. Like, there was scenes I liked in this whole romance stuff, and I actually liked how they played out, they were very nice, but it doesn't get explored enough because of how fast the movie is literally going at. This film, sadly, to me, is a step down from what made Mario Galaxy special, and it honestly is a step down from the first movie, because you had a journey, it felt like a journey, it felt like there was something that built up towards the end. Like, it didn't feel like it was just throwing random nonsense at you, if I'm being honest. And I really love the first movie. I love what it is. I know a lot of people aren't like big fans of it. If you want to know my like score for like the first movie, I'll give it 8 out of 10. I actually really liked it. I really love the first movie, and I don't think anything's gonna change that because I was not disappointed when I came out of that cinema. Yes, the pacing was like fast, but not as bad as this one because this one's just like pacing is just going. Like, it's just very fast. And like the story, there was like a thin plot and a thin story, obviously, but like at least it told something. There was something there. This doesn't feel like it's really telling much at all, if I'm being honest. This is sadly a step down from what made Mario Galaxy special. Because even in the ending, we don't see one of the best scenes in Mario, which was like the whole universe dying and Rosalina recreating it. Which it didn't have to be an exact replica, but I wish we saw something similar to it and have some samey tone to that. Like, I just feel like this could have been done way better. I also feel like the galaxies were so big. There's no issue with that, because I think that's a good thing because of the world building, but I just wish that we saw like Mario and Luigi moving from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy. It wasn't just like staying in one area for a while and barely exploring it. It just felt so rushed and I just hated that. To get to some positives now, I will say Fox McCloud was so good. He was a really cool character, and honestly, well, I mean it when I say he was the highlight, and it's sad too because he actually got more screen time than Rosalina, and he actually got an anime scene which was pretty fire, but couldn't they have done that for Rosalina too? Like, come on, you couldn't have given Rosalina like some anime like style scene like they did with Fox McCloud of like her backstory with her and Peach, and you put in the brother and the father, and I don't even know where they were. They weren't even in this film at all, which is just quite sad too. But it's just like, come on, man, you couldn't have done that, but you gave Fox McCloud all the budget. And no offense to Fox fans, bro, because I was really impressed with his character. He was definitely my favorite because I was like, wow, now I want to play the Star Fox games. Now I definitely do, because I was really impressed by how he was, and also the actor who plays him was very good too. Speaking of like actors and stuff, the acting in this movie is very good too. I feel like Brie Larson plays as Rosalina very well, even though she has like basically no lines. And like Fox McCloud, he does really good. Mario, Jack Black as Bowser, they do really good. Acting's pretty good in this movie. Another thing I have to say is Bowser Jr. 2 was actually really good. He was probably the best Mario character in the movie because he was very accurate to how he usually is in the games. As usual too, the visuals and animation looked incredible, and the direction of the movie was really good. I love the action scenes, which was really good. Another thing I have to say is that the music was actually better in this film than the first, so the music was like really good. And to those people who didn't like the licensed music in the first film, you'll be happy because there's not much in this film. One thing I'll have to say too is that the post-credits was pretty cool where it showed Daisy. I am pretty interested in what they do next and how they explore Daisy, but I already know, like, then I don't know if I have much hope because this movie was genuinely a pretty big step down from what made the first special. And I already know, like, this movie is gonna break like records. This is gonna make like $1 billion, definitely over $1 billion, and possibly even 1.5 billion because of how much people love Mario Galaxy. Regardless if that's barely in the film, it feels more like a Mario's 40th anniversary movie instead of a Galaxy movie. But you know, this film's gonna make at least 1 billion, and at most I think I could see it possibly even making 2 billion. I don't even know. I think it's already had like such a strong start. I think it's made like 34.5 million already in the first opening day, which is actually crazy. But yeah, that's just insane. I also liked some of the Easter eggs and references that they did was cool, but the issue is they flooded it with most of the movie. Like, come on, you can't flood a movie with mostly Easter eggs and references. You gotta do something different than that. And yeah, like the acting, like I said, was pretty good too, but pretty much that's all the positives really. There's more negatives than the positives, which is actually really sad to hear. It's sad to say because like Mario is my favorite video game character, it's my favorite video game franchise, just because of how funny he is. Like, I love his games. He's such an enjoyable character, and like he has so much like charisma and personality, and I love his games so much. But like, that's pretty much it, and I'm quite disappointed. With that being said, the Mario Galaxy movie is okay. It's not as terrible as the critics are saying though. Like a 0 out of 10 and saying it's worse than AI is actually insane. But it's not great either. It's not great either, and honestly left me with saying the first film was a lot more enjoyable and just better. So I'm gonna go ahead and give the Mario Galaxy movie a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.